Annual West Fargo citywide cleanup week is now about a month away. It runs May 6th through the 10th. Any items you want to get rid of must be placed curbside the day before garbage collection. Household items should be bagged and tied. Any items that are too large to fit in standard garbage bags will be accepted curbside. There'll be no branch collection during cleanup week. That happens the following week. Household hazardous waste should be brought to the hazardous waste facility. Grass clippings, compost material can be brought to one of the yard waste disposal sites in West Fargo. The transfer station will also be accepting extra materials free of charge that week.